Fathers celebrate their day today, and we have been called upon to speak to us. Marriage, which is a divine institution ordained by God, in fact, is a mystery. Sometimes when I think about it, I begin to wonder how a man will leave his house, leave his father and mother, and get somebody that he never knew before. And they now live together as one, as ordained by God. To me, it's a mystery, and I find it difficult to understand it. It's only because God has ordained it that it works that way. I want to say that there's no perfect marriage at all. No perfect man. No perfect woman. What you can have is something you can give a pass mark, what you may call an ideal one. Ideal. But it can never be 100%. Presently, the divorce rate is very, very high. It was very alarming. And many young people get scared, getting married. These days, you have many men of 40 not yet married. It was never so a long time ago. So, it is this scary nature of the family life brought about by this high rate of divorce that has made many young men and women, in fact, some of them prefer not to marry, and they will jump from one place to another, thinking that that's the best option. It is not the best option. We give kudos to the ESCO, the present ESCO of the CMO and the CWO, who have thought it necessary that the family life should be looked into among those who worship in this community. And the priest has given a high support for it. So we thank them for it. Today, we are addressing the men in the church. But what we are going to say doesn't concern only the men, because it's the man and the woman that make the family. So you can apply some of those things to the women too. We talk about some of the qualities that will make the man to perform his role effectively and efficiently in the family, that will make for cordial relationship in the family. One is unconditional love and affection. The way Christ himself loved his church, even with man committing a lot of sins, even with our flaws, he still died for us, came down and died for us. So we have to accept our wives, even with the flaws they have. There's no perfect human being. Even the man himself that is saying his wife does this and that, is he perfect? He's not. So why do you now look at the flaws in your wife, and that will make you to condemn the marriage and say that it cannot work? We have to love as Christ loved. That first love that you had, that made you to marry your wife, to see her and say, this is the one I will marry. That first love should not be allowed to die. You must nurture it. You must manure it. You must water it for it to survive. You can remember that parable where the man planted the vineyard. He planted, and then when he went to sleep, what happened? The devil came in and took over. So we must have to nurture it, nurture that love, because there's no person that is perfect. Second thing is faithfulness and integrity. You must be faithful to your wife in every ramification, including keeping your marriage vows. Some men and women, let me add that, have forgotten that they made a vow in front of many people when they were wedded in church. Lack of trust or unfaithfulness is a major factor that creates lack of trust. And that is a major factor that has crept into many families and actually has devastated their marriages. But you must avoid listening to gossips. This man tells you that your wife is like this or like that, or that he saw her talking to one man there. You should believe your wife and have trust in her. Otherwise, you'll be chasing shadows that will lead to a broken marriage. The other one is leadership. You must have to provide leadership, both spiritually and physically. The man, the husband, is the chief priest of the family, whether you like it or not. He's the chief priest. And he must have to take up that role in the family and not just leave the wife, okay, go and pray with the children. That is not so. You are supposed to lead in prayer, in worship, sharing the word of God. It is important because you are the head. Because if you don't do it, then how do you expect the family to survive? Because you are not praying with your family, and it is said that a family that prays together stays together. And the devil is making many men to not have time because they feel they are too busy. Busy from 6 o'clock when they wake up or 5 o'clock in the morning to very late at night. Please, you should know that prayer is a potent weapon against the enemy's devices. If you don't pray and you don't bring your family to pray, then you are looking for problem in your marriage. And again, as the leader, you are the one that defends your family from external aggression. If there's an attack, you don't run away. You are the one that should face it as a man. Forgiveness and understanding. You should forgive your wife when she offends you. After all, we always sin and we ask for forgiveness. Then why won't we forgive? If you offend her, please ask for forgiveness. You know, some men with their ego, their head bloated, will think that they are no longer men when they ask for forgiveness from their wives. It is not so. How do you expect God to forgive you too when you offend him? The next one is be supportive, both physically, emotionally, and financially, especially in difficult and trying times. If your wife is not well, or she had very busy moments, there are some women that have very busy moments, especially in the office. Please assist her. She needs help. There should be shared responsibility, especially at those times when your wife is not well or she feels fatigued. Some men think that it belittles them to wash plates or to tidy the house. Please, it is not. It doesn't belittle you in any way. It shows that you have love for the family, especially when there is need for it. Provision and care. We cannot shy away from this. You are the head of the family, and so you must provide for the family. Don't look the other way. I know women, good women, assist. Yes. But it is your duty, your primary responsibility to provide for the family, to provide food, to pay the children's school fees, to pay house rent, and all. Yes, it is our responsibility as men. But if the streams of income are no longer flowing the way they used to be, what should you do? You don't keep quiet. You let your wife know that things are no longer, the center can no longer hold any longer. And a reasonable woman will come to assist. Appreciation and respect. This is the follow-up of the one that I've spoken last. You must make your wife feel valued and loved. Yes. Women want to feel valued and loved. When she makes an input into the family, helping you to provide some needs, goes to the market to buy food with her own money, helps you to pay rent, you must appreciate her. Because the nature of women, if you appreciate them, next time they are going to double it. That's their nature. And also when she buys you some gift, some men think that it's their right for the woman to buy gifts for them. It's not your right. When she buys gifts for you, you must appreciate her. If she bought one now and you appreciate her, next time she's going to buy double that, buy 2 of it. Emotional maturity and intelligence. This enables a man to handle stress and resolve family conflicts amicably without resorting to physical or emotional violence. The man must be mature. And being mature doesn't mean growing big, no. You must be mature in your head and in the heart. Emotionally, you must be mature. There have been stories of men learning busking skills when their wife angers them, they will not control their anger. Rather, they will exercise the busking skills they have learned on their wives. But you have forgotten that some women are also strong enough. So please, don't go into turning your wife into a punching bag at all. Or you are exercising your new learned busking skills. The children are watching, especially this. They are watching you And you are molding them to become Mike Tyson and all in future. Because they learn from what we do. Please learn to manage your anger. A man, I want to say this, any man that still beats his wife, continues to beat his wife and goes on, that person should have his head examined. That is what I say. He should have his head examined, or should be taken to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to examine him. Effective communication, very important. You must honestly share your thoughts and feelings with your wife and family. You should not be indulging in having secret deals. But let your wife and even your children know your sources of income so that they'll not be making exceptional demands. If you have made some investments, you should let them know. Do you know that some families we used to look upon as very big? The man dies and the family crashes. Why? Because the man didn't let the family know his investments. And others, it becomes a field play, free for all, for others that know. So please let us let our family members, especially our wives, to know our sources of income, our investments. Because what you are doing now you are not doing it for just now. The money you are getting, you are not collecting it for your own pocket. It's an investment for the future, for your children, and even your children's children. So if you don't let them know your investments, then you are fetching firewood for ants, infested with ants. The other one is respect and honor. You must have value for your wife's thoughts, opinions, and feelings. Please listen to your wives. Don't always throw away what they say. Listen. There may be some sense in what they say. You know, some men still think the way our great-great-grandfather thought, that women are not to be heard. It's no longer so. We have women, respectable women, in various fields of life, who lead international organizations, who lead communities. So why don't you listen to what they say instead of throwing away everything? You should have a listening ear. Take the ones that you think are okay, the ones that are not okay, and she has said so. What you do is that tell her why this cannot work or why it is not right, instead of throwing away everything, even without allowing the person to finish saying it. Responsibility. The man must be accountable for his actions and fulfill his commitments to wife and family. You must be accountable for your actions. Anything you do, don't think others will have to share the responsibility with you. Whatever you do in the family or you do outside, please you are accountable. You should not make promises you cannot fulfill. Don't tell the family or your wife, I'm going to buy you the biggest, I don't know which one, the biggest Jeep. When you know that you cannot do it, it leads to lack of trust. Do you know that some marriages have collapsed these days? Because when you wanted to marry the woman, You didn't let her know your level. You put yourself there. And she comes in and she sees you here. That's the beginning of a collapsed marriage. Respect for God's authority. In the man's life and marriage, he must seek to live according to God's words, the word of God. You must live according to it. The man must not involve himself in illegal relationship, ungodly relationships. Whatever you did as a youth, for me, it is immaterial. We can start counting it for you when you get married. If you have girlfriends, you had them, thousands of them, that were always flowing around, and you get married, please cut them off. It is very, very important. Otherwise, your marriage cannot hold. The other thing is that you must have a fair knowledge of the psychology of the female gender. I'm not saying you must study psychology in the university. No. Human beings, whether male or female, change with age. The way your wife will behave when you newly married her as a small girl, maybe you are 35 and you married her at she was 22. Don't think that she will still behave the same way when she grows to 50 or 60. It's not the same. I mean, there must be some small changes. Small changes. Physically, emotionally. You know, as the woman grows, she becomes a little more assertive. Because she now has children, she's now an elder person, or she has some responsibilities. Don't expect her to behave the same way she's behaving when she was small. Otherwise, you lose your temper and the marriage scatters. We can continue to talk and talk and talk. But there are so many things that can be saved for another day. Because you cannot finish talking about the marriage relationship in one sitting. The qualities of a good husband are too numerous. We have only mentioned some of them. So as to remind ourselves, the men, some of those qualities and attitudes we must activate in our marriage. There are some things, maybe they are hidden inside you and you have not brought them out. You must activate them if you want your marriage relationship to survive. I want to tell everybody, not only the men, that there's no shortcut for achieving an ideal marriage. There's no shortcut. Marriages do not survive by chance at all. Marriages break down if the partners fail to cooperate in maintaining the relationship. Conscious efforts must be made by all the partners. Don't think that it is a man that is responsible for the marriage breaking, no, or the woman. The two must work together for that marriage to stand. As you lay your bed, so you lie on it. If you lay a bed of thorns, you will lie on it. If you lay a bed, a water bed, you lie on it. Whatever be the nature of the bed you lay, you lie on it. And some men think that they are tired about this marriage and they go and look for another person. I'm sorry for you. Because the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. You don't know that one that you want to go to. You are only being fooled. You may not get it right. No marriage is beyond repairs. No matter the level to which a marriage has gone, it is not beyond repairs. If you think you are married, even if you think you married the wrong person, it can still be remedied. If the two of you cooperate and iron out things, make corrections, you can still achieve a solid relationship. I know some marriages that got scattered, and yet when they came back, they became ideal husband and wife because they made up their minds to make things work. Every standing or ideal marriage is based on mutual love, respect, understanding, forgiveness, and above all, hard work.